I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. My bad. Do you ever find yourself excessively apologizing to strangers, to your family, and especially to the narcissist? That's because the narcissist has you always feeling like you have to walk around on eggshells and you have to try very, very hard not to make them mad. Welcome in, children of light and the empathic soul. In today's video, we're going to talk about excessive apologizing and basically how that is a form of hypervigilance, and it's our way to kind of protect ourselves from future harm. As empathic souls, we already care automatically about people's feelings. We care very deeply. We don't like to upset people. We don't like to cause people any harm or distress. And so we already have a certain level of empathy and caring for others as it is. We don't like to offend people. We know how it feels already for ourselves when it's done to us. So we definitely don't wish that type of harm on anyone else. And truth be told, the narcissist knows all about your level of empathy. But the fact is, they take advantage of that. They know that you don't want to hurt people. The narcissist will use your empathy as an opportunity to take advantage of you, as an opportunity to get over on you, as an opportunity to do you wrong, and even to cause you harm. They get pleasure out of seeing your downfall. They get pleasure out of your suffering. They use your empathy against you, and they use confrontation and arguments and fights and different things like that as a training ground for you, like a grooming process. They teach you how to behave, basically. One example of that is if you do something that the narcissist doesn't like, or something that offends them, if you say something even, their reaction is going to be used as a training ground for you. So when they blow up on you all of a sudden, when they cuss you out, when they strike you, they punch or slap you or anything like that, they act very aggressively towards you. All those things they use to train you for future interactions. So when they do this kind of aggressive behavior, they know internally as an empath, you are going to do whatever you can do to prevent that from happening again. And they know this. And so that's how they pretty much keep your behavior at bay. And that's how they basically control you. As empaths, we thrive on peace and calm and serenity. And narcissists know that. They know that you're going to do whatever you can, whatever's in your power to keep the peace, to avoid conflict and things like that. They know this. So things that you normally wouldn't tolerate, you begin to tolerate. Things that you normally would walk away from, you don't walk away. Things that you would normally try to prove your point about, you just stop doing that. You go ahead and walk away just to avoid the conflict. So this hypervigilance makes you clueless about when you should apologize and what circumstances are appropriate for you to apologize to somebody. The lines get blurred and you're just not really sure. So you just kind of apologize for everything. The simplest and silliest of things you begin to apologize for. And you'll even notice people say, you don't have to be sorry for that. You don't have to apologize for that. That's not a big deal. Don't worry about that. You'll hear people say that, and that'll be your clue to know you're overdoing it as far as apologizing. Another thing about this is the view of yourself will start to be tainted. You will start to see yourself as a person that always messes up, a person that always does something wrong. You can never get anything right. You are a person that annoys people all the time. You get on people's nerves. Nobody likes you. You start to develop that kind of narrative in your head because of all of the abuse that the narcissist puts you through. You start to feel like nobody likes you. And the narcissist will reiterate that by saying that to you. They will say those words to you. Nobody likes you. And that is a tactic that they use to keep you close to them, to keep you under them, to be under their thumb and controlled by them, and that you don't listen to anyone else and you don't fall into the influence of someone else. Another thing about this excessive apologizing is that it can have other people feeling like you are very weak. You are very subservient. You are very easy to manipulate and take advantage of, easy to get over on. Those are the kinds of things, assumptions that people can make if you over apologize. And that's definitely an assumption that the narcissist made about you, that it's very, very easy to get over on you. Just because you're an empath, it doesn't mean that you lack intelligence in any way. It doesn't mean that you can't see through the smoke screen. You can very well see what people are doing to you, especially if it's not a good thing. You can see when people are taking advantage of you. Just because you choose not to react to it at all, or you don't react in a negative way, doesn't mean that you don't see it. Doesn't mean that you don't know that it's happening. The thing about the empathic soul is we take on a lot. We take in a lot. We will take on massive amounts of abuse and disrespect and have a high tolerance for it. It's just one day everything will bust loose. One day we will have a reaction. It's just that our reaction is a lot slower than other people's. We also don't have the typical reaction that other people have. We can definitely be explosive, but we don't necessarily explode in anger. We explode in truth. And once we give you that truth, once we deliver it to you after you've done terrible things to us, you won't be able to deny it. It's going to be right in your face. So let's talk about the time in the Bible where God himself was sorry. Genesis 6:5-6. Then the Lord saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. So the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping thing and birds of the air, for I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Here's another time in the Bible where someone was sorry. This is Matthew 14, verses 9, and this is concerning John the Baptist being beheaded. And the king was sorry. Nevertheless, because of the oaths and because of those who sat with him, he commanded it to be given to her. So he sent and had John beheaded in prison. So there is a time to be sorry. And then there's a time to not be sorry. Did you know that there was a such thing as godly sorrow? Let's look at 2 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 9. Now I rejoice, not that you were made sorry, but that your sorrow led to repentance. For you were made sorry in a godly manner, that you might suffer loss from us in nothing. For godly sorrow produces repentance, leading to salvation, not to be regretted. But the sorrow of the world produces death. So there is indeed a time for everything under the sun. And we have to determine when is the appropriate time to be truly sorry and when it's not. Do not allow the narcissist to make you feel like every day is a day to be sorry. Every single thing that you do is a time to say you're sorry and apologize. Every single thing that you say warrants an apology. If that is the case, when do you ever get the opportunity to be yourself? When is it ever acceptable to just be you? Take a good look at yourself. Examine yourself. Hold yourself up to the light. And always make sure that you walk into the marvelous light.